You think buying a Toyota Tacoma is a safe bet? Think again. While some of these trucks are literally bulletproof, others are quietly draining bank accounts with $10,000 repair bills and unfixable transmission bugs. I've analyzed decades of reliability data, secret mechanic reports, and NHTSA recalls to rank every single generation from absolute worst to the undisputed best. And fair warning, the #1 spot is going to shock you. It's not the one you're thinking of, and it definitely isn't the newest model on the lot. If you're about to buy a Tacoma, stop. Watch this first, or you might just buy the most expensive mistake of your life.
I've broken this down into 4 distinct eras. By the time we reach the #1 spot, you'll have a masterclass in Toyota engineering, knowing exactly which VIN numbers to look for and which years to avoid like the plague. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a hardcore off-roader, or someone just looking for a reliable daily driver that will hold its value until the heat death of the universe, this ranking is for you. Let's start at the bottom of the list. Rank number 4, the 4th generation, 2024 to present. Coming in at number 4, the bottom of our list, is the brand new 4th generation Tacoma. Now, before the 2024 owners jump into the comments, let me be clear. This is objectively the most capable Tacoma ever built. But capable and best are 2 very different things when it comes to long-term ownership. The 2024 Tacoma is built on Toyota's high-strength TNGA-F global truck platform, the same bones as the Tundra and the Land Cruiser. It features a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine, available in the standard iForce or the massive 326-horsepower iForce Max Hybrid. On paper, it's a beast. The torque is incredible, and the towing technology makes the older generations look like covered wagons. However, we are currently navigating what I call the new platform learning curve. History has shown us that the first few years of a radical redesign are the beta testing phase for consumers. Early owner reports are already showing some growing pains. We've seen a surge in service bulletins regarding transmission software updates to address rough shifting patterns. This isn't necessarily a mechanical failure, but it's a sign that the brain of the truck is still learning how to talk to the muscles. More concerning is the NHTSA brake hose recall affecting certain 2024 and 2025 models. When you have a truck that can seize its brakes or lose pressure due to a manufacturing defect, it earns a spot at the bottom until those issues are ironed out. The biggest unknown here is the complexity. We've moved away from the simple, naturally aspirated engines that made Toyota famous and jumped into the world of high-pressure turbos and complex hybrid batteries. While Consumer Reports currently gives it an above-average predicted reliability score, the reality is that no one knows what these trucks will look like at 200,000 miles.
Rank number 3, the 3rd generation, 2016 to 2023. At number 3, we have the 3rd generation Tacoma. This was the era where the Tacoma grew up. It brought massive improvements in safety, crash protection, and cabin technology. If you value your life in a high-speed collision, this generation is a massive step up from its predecessors. This generation traded the old 4.0 Leaf 6 for a 3.5 Leaf 6 that utilizes the Atkinson cycle for better fuel efficiency. Toyota also introduced Toyota Safety Sense, TSS, giving drivers pre-collision systems and lane departure alerts. It earned top-tier safety ratings across the board. But, and this is a big but, it introduced some documented quirks that drove owners absolutely crazy. The most notorious issue is the 6-speed automatic transmission's gear hunting. Because the engine is tuned for efficiency, the transmission is constantly shifting, trying to find the optimal power band. This leads to a driving experience that feels busy, indecisive, and sometimes underpowered on the highway. While it's not a reliability defect that leaves you stranded, it is a character defect that many owners find annoying. Consumer Reports noted this frequently in their yearly reviews. The truck functions perfectly, but it doesn't feel like a Toyota truck should. It feels like it's constantly overthinking its next move. Rank number 2, the 1st generation, 1995 to 2004. Now we're getting into the legends. Number 2 is the 1st generation Tacoma. This is the truck that built the Toyota myth. If you go to a remote village in South America or a mountain pass in the Himalayas, this is the truck you'll see. Everything about this generation was built with over-engineering in mind. It's centered around the legendary 3.4 Leaf 6 5VZ FE engine. We aren't just talking about 100,000-mile trucks here. We're talking about 400,000-mile trucks. These engines were designed with massive safety margins and mechanical systems so simple that you could practically fix them with a hammer and a pair of pliers. There were no complex electronics, no cylinder deactivation, and no eco modes to mess with the timing. It was pure, straightforward engineering focused on one thing: durability. The driving experience was raw: direct steering, responsive throttle, and a transmission that just worked. It felt like a small truck, nimble and tough, not like the mid-size turning full-size rigs we see today. However, the first gen has a fatal flaw that prevents it from taking the #1 spot: the frame.
Rank number 1. The second generation, 2005 to 2015. This is it, the undisputed king. The second generation Tacoma is the best generation ever made, and it's what I call the Goldilocks Tacoma. Why? Because it represents the perfect intersection of old-school mechanical robustness and modern-day capability. This generation was powered by the 4.0-liter 1GR FE V6. Ask any Toyota mechanic, and they will tell you this is one of the best engines Toyota has ever produced. It provides incredible low-end torque, something the third generation lacks, and it's virtually bulletproof. Unlike the transmission in the newer models, the 5-speed automatic in the second gen was perfectly paired to the engine. Shifts were smooth, predictable, and the truck always felt like it was in the right gear. It avoided the gear hunting of the 2016 Plus models while offering much more power and comfort than the 1995 models. But the real reason this is #1 is the refinement curve. By the time we got to the 2012 to 2015 models, Toyota had perfected the recipe. These holy grail years benefit from significantly improved rust protection compared to the first gen. While they aren't immune to rust, the coatings and drainage systems were far superior. So there you have it. The ranking is clear. Second gen, 2005 to 2015, the peak, the Goldilocks truck. First gen, 1995 to 2004, the legend, but watch that frame. Third gen, 2016 to 2023, safe and modern, but plagued by transmission quirks. Fourth gen, 2024 to present, incredible potential, but too many first-year unknowns. The key takeaway here is that Toyota is at its best when it focuses on refining proven designs rather than chasing revolutionary changes. The second gen succeeded because it learned every lesson from the first gen and perfected it before the world got too complicated with sensors and turbos. If you're shopping today, my advice is simple. Look for a 2012 to 2015 model with a clean service history. It will likely be the last truck you ever need to buy. If this ranking helped you narrow down your search, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps the channel bring you more honest, data-driven truck advice. Subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming deep dive into the best off-road mods for each generation.